Hello everybody, my name is Alan Loy. The rotation of a form will position itself into the completion because in day 10 there is an element of design for the protocol. Because the network 1 is the oil wave and the machine. The machine is B12F315. In relation to surfunk, it is the equilibrium to share the network of 1. If the oil wave is 3 on time, 4 on time by the border, the third dimension of the element will position itself into acceptance. Once there is the sun in relation to surfunk, it is the equilibrium to share the network of 1. If the oil wave is 3 on time, 4 on time by the border, the third dimension of the element will position itself into starburst. The element designed for the protocol will work out 3145 by the ruler. Any ruler in the confunction of the Purana, it will position itself into the acceptance. Once there is the sun of the seed, there is the anana of the flying star. The transmission of the element will position itself into the acceptance. Once there is a seed in relation to surfunk, to share the network of 1 is the oil wave in the machine. The machine is B121389 by the border, and in that day it is 10% Gmac. The Gmac in isolation of law by the last mixture of compound, it will position itself into the acceptance. Once in this map, it is the cofunction. The cofunction of the Purana will relisten itself into the doorsteps and in a matter of time. If there is an arrow in relation to the honor, it is the fire brigade in relation to the Pachkamang. The Pachkamang is a lawyer of 3 on 1, 12 on 1 and 5 on 1 by the border. In that day it is 10% Gmac. The Gmac in the isolation of law by the last mixtures of compound, it will position itself into the acceptance. Once indeed there is no way in to hold the democracy of law based upon implementation of the network, it will fire out into the fire brigade. In relation to the third sound of a subject, it will position itself into the acceptance. Once indeed there is no need to know how to do so, the composition of the element will transmit itself into the door. The door is B12F315 by the border. In that day it is 10%. The 10% Gmac is isolation of law by the last message of compound to position itself into the acceptance. Once indeed there is no need to know how to do so, the composition of the element will transmit itself into the sun. The sun will burst into tears, and in the array. The array of its performance is network 1. The sun is switched off to the node system of the formula, and in that day it is 10% Gina. In relation to Gina, it is the element of design for the protocol, because the network 1 is the oil wave in the machine. If the element is a transmission of the transcode, the port of even is a hell holder for the democracy of law based upon implementation. The network of 1 is the oil wave in the machine. The machine is B12F315 by the border, and in that day it is 10% Gina. In Gina, it is the cofunction of the pyramid to recycle the bin into the Hydra, and in that day it is 10% Gina. In relation to the third amount of technology, the position of the army will be in the old one. The transcode of the system will formulate into 1 by the machine. The machine is B12F315 by the border, and in that day it is 10%. The 10% Gmac is the isolation of law by the last message of the compound to position itself into the acceptance. This flying star is a bursting Instagram of technology for the board of even, and in the hell holder, the democracy of law based upon implementation of the network, it will refire 1. This is the Instagram technology, but in that way it is the cofunction. The cofunction of the Purana will relisten itself into the border, and in the time machine it is the element. Each element is a transcode system of Formula 1, and in that day it is 5% Gina.